have one resolution for tonight. It's a resolution amending the Madison County Personnel Policy Handbook. It was signed by all members of the committee, the president, and its adoption.
We have a motion, is there a second? Second by Mr. Goggin. On the question?
Questions?
Yes. Okay, Mr. McCray, and we'll come back to you, Mr. Madison.
My question is, does our language that we're adopting into the handbook, is it verbatim to what the state of Illinois? My understanding is that it is the legal language that's used by the state of Illinois to, non-discrimination, right? We don't discriminate against anybody, but is this verbatim a reflection of the state of Illinois?
The language that's added is adopted. It's taken from the Illinois Human Rights Act. We're using the language that they use.
Well, taken from it, but is it did we just cut and paste or
Our section is not, we didn't take the entire paragraph from the Illinois Human Rights Act, but we're using the same terms as are used in the Illinois Human Rights Act. So we're not adopting anything new or adding anything. We're simply reflecting the terms that are required by Illinois law through the Human Rights Act.
Okay. So
if you go and read the section of the Illinois Human Rights Act and you read our policy book, they're different. It's different stuff because we're a personnel policy handbook, but the terms and the categories that we're using are the same categories. We haven't added any new categories that are not already included in the law and required by the law.
okay. Thank you.
Mr. Madison,
Mr. Gibbons,
could you speak in the mic?
have you scrutinized this? It sounds like you have. Have you approved this yourself?
I was not given a copy of this until today.
It was brought to my attention that you were, the state's attorney was supposed to scrutinize this and give his approval for that.
It was given to me just within the hour.
If this was part of the 2005 Human Rights Act, it was also brought to my attention that we have actually already adopted that completely. Is this different at all from that?
I would have to go back and read the entire thing. I just briefly reviewed it.
I would suggest that we table this and do a little bit more diligence on it to make sure we're doing this correctly. And if we've already adopted it, then we don't need to do anything.
Well, the two additional parts of language that were added in are just, I would say it is smart to have our policy handbook reflect as accurately as possible and correctly the categories against which we shall not have, which we shall prohibit discrimination. And if we fail to do that, then we can open ourselves up to legal liability, exposing the county to increased liability, cost our taxpayers money. So we're not adding anything or making any substantial changes.
It's my understanding that the 2005 Human Rights Act already includes gender identity, and in our written policy as it's given to us, the terminology sex, sexual orientation is already in there, which should cover transgender. To me, it's redundant language.
Well, whether or not you may feel from it that it's a redundant language, those two initial categories that you mentioned do not cover the third, which is being added. Under the statute, they don't.
Mr. Malone?